Welcome, everyone, to our class today where we are reviewing 2024 presidential election news headlines. At the time of this recording, the election is today. People are voting as we speak for the new president of the United States. Now, in this class, we will learn vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation with these news headlines. This isn't a political class. This is a class to learn English, and we're simply using this important event as our topic. Okay, are you ready to get started? Share where you're watching from in the comments as well. Now, let's go. So here is our first headline. So I have selected a word, an expression, a grammar concept, something to teach you from this headline that I think is important for you to know. If there is some other word or something that you don't recognize from this headline, you can ask me as well. So ask me what you would like to understand from this, and then I have prepared something. So in this election 2024 live updates, this is taking place right now. Latest battleground polls show Harris and Trump neck and neck on election eve. All right. So what do you want to learn from this headline? What don't you understand? Well, I have chosen one expression for you. Maybe you noticed neck and neck. So this is my neck, of course. Now, notice how I pronounce this. So everyone repeat after me. Neck and neck. Neck and neck. So when we have noun and noun, and they're together as a phrase, we pronounce and as So we reduce that sound, but you also have to pronounce it as one word. So I can't say neck, neck. That doesn't sound correct. So you need to say it as one word, neck and neck, neck, neck and neck and neck and neck, neck and neck and neck. Okay. Hopefully you get that pronunciation, neck and neck. So if you had, for example, coffee and tea, coffee and tea, coffee and tea, coffee and tea, neck and neck, coffee and tea. Okay. So to be neck and neck, this is an expression that's used in competitions or races like we have with this presidential election, but in sports, in job interviews where there is only one person hired, but many candidates, in any sort of competition, is when two or more people are very close. So they're even. This means even. This is not even. This is the winner. This is a loser. Opposite, even. So this point would be neck and neck when there isn't a clear winner. Okay. So we use this a lot in sports. So my example here is with only 2 minutes left in the game, they're neck and neck. So maybe the score is tied. 3-3 is tied, but maybe it's 3-2. Or for the other team, 3-2, because that's very close. It's easy to score one more goal. So neck and neck, neck and neck. And yes, Stefania, I agree. It does sound weird to pronounce neck and neck. I completely agree with you. And exactly, Victor, tie, a tie, a tie. Exactly. Okay. All right. Awesome job, everyone. Keep sending me your questions. Now, for all the students joining live, welcome. Let me know where you're watching from in the comments. And for all my students watching the replay, welcome. Also participate, practice along with us. Let me know where you're watching from in the comments. Okay. Anything else that you don't understand from this headline? It's in the very fine print, so it might be difficult to see, but I'll also, before we go on, I'll let you know that there is a free lesson PDF. You can find it in the description and the pinned comments. For the students watching the replay, it's in the description and the pinned comments. So for all my students watching live, let me just share the link with you right now. I'm just getting it. 1 second. Okay, so I'll put it in. I just put the link in the comment now, and then I'll add that to the description and the pinned comment for everyone watching the replay. It will be there for you. Okay, so it's very small, but let me read this. Kamala Harris and Donald Trump are making their final pitches. Their final pitches to voters in key battleground states on final day of campaigning. Okay, so a pitch, this is a noun, and it is a persuasive speech or presentation. So if you're in a business context, this is very commonly used. If you're going into a presentation and you want to convince someone to hire your company, use your product, or use your service, you would prepare a presentation. But if that presentation is for the purpose of convincing someone to buy something or to use your services, you would refer to that as a pitch. So I could say your pitch was convincing. So what does pitch mean? It means your presentation, but your presentation for the purpose of trying to persuade me. My cat, this is Sasha. Sasha is going crazy in the background. Okay, your pitch was convincing. Now, this is also used as a verb, to pitch. This is to try to persuade someone. So you would say, I pitched. Notice that pronunciation of ED, pitched. It's a very soft T. Pitched. Repeat after me. Pitched. Pitched. I pitched my idea to the client. Okay, I pitched my idea to the client. So you can use it as a noun, your pitch, or as a verb, I pitched. My cat is going crazy. Sasha. All right, everyone. Sasha. Sorry about that, everyone. This is why you should close your door before you go into a job interview or an important presentation, because something like this can happen. All right. She's so cute, though. You can't get mad. She's so cute. Okay. So everyone, you should be practicing along leave example sentence. Leave an example sentence using pitch as a noun and as a verb as well. Pitch, pitch. All right. Now, if you're enjoying this lesson, let me know. Like this video, subscribe. For all my students, make sure you're prepared for tomorrow, because I have a special news review for you that's going to cover the election results, that will discuss the new president. So make sure you subscribe so you're notified when that lesson is posted. Okay, and say yes, yes, yes if you like this lesson. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome. Awesome, everyone. Yeah, exactly. I just pitched my cat. She is the most adorable cat in the world. And if I want to persuade you on her positive qualities, absolutely. I just pitched my cat. You can absolutely say that. Excellent job. All right. Now, this is our next headline. Where things stand in the race. So the race is the election. The election, they refer to it as a race. Obviously, this is also a race, and two marathon runners or two participants can be neck and neck in the race. But we also use race for an election, another word for election. Where things stand in the race, in the election. Key things to know, as Harris and Trump, is very common to refer to people as only their last name. Kamala Harris, Donald Trump enter final full day of campaigning. So campaigning, when the politicians campaign, they are pitching themselves to you. That is what they do. So campaigning is another word, but campaigning is specific to political context, but to pitch an idea is more of a business context, okay? Now, there are two things I want to teach you from this headline. But if there is something else you want me to explain, if there's something you don't understand from this headline, let me know in the comments as well. Okay. This student said, the salesman pitched this fishy tool to me. Exactly. And you must have watched my last lesson, not my last lesson, but a previous lesson where I taught fishy. Fishy means suspicious. So the salesman pitched this fishy tool to you. So he had, you should buy this pen because it will write for you. I don't know. That was a terrible pitch. I just pitched you this pen in a terrible way, but that would be a pitch. Excellent job. All right, everyone. So let's first talk about where things stand. So this is asking about the current state, status, or position. So the things represents everything taking place in the election, the race, and stand represents the word state, status, or position. But this expression is commonly used in a business context, okay? So your boss might ask you, where do things stand with the contract? Where do things stand with the contract? Your boss is asking you about the current state, status, or position of that contract. Where do things stand? Okay. Now, you might reply back and share the current status. And you could say, we just pitched our proposal. We shared our proposal in a persuasive way, and we're waiting to hear back. This is the current status. This is where things stand. Or you might reply and provide the current status and say, we're neck and neck. Remember that pronunciation, neck and neck with another company. So you pitched your service, but another company also pitched their service. And you and the other company are neck and neck. It means that the customer may decide to use you or may decide to use the other company. So we're neck and neck. Okay. Or you could use, remember, where things stand is the status or the state, the position. You could say based on where things stand with the project, based on the current status of the project, we'll need to extend the deadline. Okay. So Manuel said, everyone, leave some example sentences, practice along as well, ask questions. That's why we're doing this live. So Manuel said, where things stand, how is the position in the race? Yeah, maybe you could say, where do things stand in the race? Because if you're asking a question, where do things stand in the race? So you're asking, what is the current status or state of the race? Where do things stand in the race? Excellent job. All right. Now, let's talk about the word key. This is a very important word because you can use it instead of saying important, essential, or critical. I think you probably know this already. This is very commonly used, but I want you to practice using it as well. Practice using it. So use the word key in a sentence. Here's my sentence. Now let's try a gerund sentence. A gerund sentence is when you start your sentence with the verb in ing. Maybe you could say, eating vegetables is key to a healthy life, for example. So is important, essential, critical. You try an example sentence. Now, you could also say the key. Now, notice if you add an article, the key, it means that now key is a noun and it represents the most important factor. So there are many different factors that can help you get a great career. But out of all the factors, improving your English is the most important. So everyone, I want you to try a gerund expression using key as an adjective, the first example, or the key, which is a noun, the second example. So Anissa said, perseverance is the key to reaching success. Excellent job. I love this example. So perseverance, which is the noun form of to persevere. So to keep going, to keep trying, even when things are disappointing or things aren't working out as you planned. You keep going, you keep trying, you don't give up. Perseverance is the key, the most important factor to reaching success. Excellent job, Anissa, and I completely agree with you. Okay, Mosab said playing football is the key to having fun, to being healthy, for example, to staying fit. So is the key. Okay, so don't forget that verb to be. Excellent example. Okay. Faizev said, how do things stand? Excellent job asking about the current state. How do things stand in key states? Key states. Notice this. So key states are important states. Why? Because some states, their vote is more powerful, or there are more people in those states. So the result of that state has more of an impact on the result of the overall election. So how do things stand in key states? Excellent job. Excellent example. Okay. Yes, I am reading the live chat. Now, you would use the gerund to reaching success is the key to reaching success. Okay, the key to keep progressing is discipline. Exactly. The key to keep progressing is discipline. Excellent job. I like this, Stefania. Waking up. So waking up with a smile is the key to a joyful day. So yeah, the alarm goes off and you open your eyes and you smile. So waking up with a smile. I like that. Very nicely done. All right. Excellent job, everyone. Viet said, practicing is the key to speaking English fluently. Yes. So the key to, and then you need your gerund. The key to speaking English fluently. Very nicely done. And I completely agree. Getting the vote of the swing states is the key to winning the election. Exactly, Hadaki. Getting the vote of the swing states. So those are the states where the result of that state can change the direction of the election, can swing from one candidate to the other. So that's how they're called swing states. Is the key the most important factor to winning the election? Excellent job. One more and then we'll move on. Ender said, watching Jennifer's videos, thank you, is the key to enhancing your English skills. I so appreciate that. So everyone, remember after to, you need your verb in ing. To enhancing, to improving, to winning, whatever it might be. Excellent job, everyone. Oh, just one more because I really like this one. Back to War said, education is the key for our future. Exactly. Very nicely said. Okay, everyone. Excellent job. Now, if you agree with this, that improving your English is key or the key to a great career, put that's right, put that's right in the comments. Woohoo! I certainly think so, which is why I'm so excited to help you improve your English. All right, so put that's right in the comments and let's move on to our next headline. Trump to North Carolina voters. So this means he is addressing or speaking to North Carolina voters specifically. Why? Maybe North Carolina is a swing state, or maybe North Carolina is traditionally one to vote for Trump, for example. Okay, so Trump to, speaking to, addressing. Trump to North Carolina voters. Tell Harris, you've had enough. You can't take it anymore. All right, so that's a convincing pitch. Now, let's review this. Okay, you've had enough. To have enough of something is when you can no longer tolerate something. So no longer accept something. So you might say in a work context, I've had enough of these long meetings. But you have to say it with attitude because there's going to be frustration or anger even when you say it. So you can't say, I've had enough of these long meetings. You have to be like, oh, I've had enough. I've had enough of these long meetings, which means you can no longer tolerate these long meetings. So these long meetings are, in your mind, something very negative. Or you might say, we work overtime without pay. Overtime means that if you're scheduled to work from 9 to 5, those are the hours you're scheduled to work, but then your boss asks you to work until 5:45 or even 5:15. It doesn't matter. Anytime after 5, you are working overtime. Okay, overtime. But without pay, you're not getting paid for this. We work overtime without pay. We've had enough. So again, you have to say it with some frustration or anger, annoyance in it, because you will not accept or tolerate it anymore. So you can use this in a work context. You can use this with your husband, your wife, your kids, your friends, anything. You can use this. Now, notice my examples are with the present perfect. This is because the situation happened in the past, or it's a continuous situation. It happened in the past and it keeps happening now, but there's a connection to the present. So the connection to the present is, I won't tolerate this anymore. Okay. So everyone, what is something that you've had enough of? What have you had enough of? So we have one taker, one student willing to practice. I've had enough of the professor's long-winded lecture. Exactly. So long-winded means the professor keeps talking and talking and talking. Hopefully, I know sometimes I think I can be a little long-winded. Hopefully this isn't about me. Okay. We've had enough of overtime working. Exactly. I've had enough of your disrespectful behavior. Exactly. You might say this to your kids. You might say this to your friends. So it doesn't have to be just in a workplace, and definitely not just for government, but obviously people generally have a lot of frustration with government. Yes, this is a great example. Dulene, I've had enough of not being fluent. Exactly. So you might say, like, I've been living in the US or wherever for 10 years, and I still struggle to understand natives. I've had enough. So you're not willing to tolerate this anymore. I've had enough. Excellent job, everyone. Oh, I've had enough of gossiping, because you want them doing the action of gossiping people. Exactly. I've had enough. I can't tolerate it anymore. Okay, great job. So we'll keep going, because basically I can't take it anymore basically means the same thing. So this is when you reach a point where accepting something, tolerating something is just not possible, either emotionally or even physically, because I've had enough of this marathon. I can't take it anymore. I physically cannot run anymore. Okay, so again, you can use this with your kids, your friends, your siblings, your family. I can't take your constant fighting anymore. So I can't take something, your constant fighting, for example, or working for this company is unbearable. Unbearable means it's difficult to accept as well. Unbearable. I can't take it anymore. And the it represents working for this company. I can't take it anymore. So again, of course, you can use this to express your frustration with the government, but you can also use this to express your general frustrations with your family, your friends, yourself as well, even. Yeah, you can absolutely say, Rian, I'm sick and tired of your constant fighting. I'm sick and tired of this situation. You can absolutely say it. Very nicely done. All right. Well, Brazil, thank you so much for watching me. I really appreciate it. I have had enough of your nagging. Ooh, what does nagging mean? When you nag someone, it's when you tell them to do something, but you generally do it over and over again in a annoying way. So traditionally, wives nag their husbands to do things like take out the garbage or fix this or repair that or do this or do that, for example. Or parents nag their kids, clean up your room, clean up your room. Why haven't you cleaned up your room? That would be nagging. So kids could definitely say, I've had enough of my mom's nagging, for example. I'm sick and tired of my mom's nagging. All right. Excellent job, everyone. So, of course, we find ourselves in these situations every day. So now you have some natural expressions to express your negative feelings on this. Oh, wow, I said your name right. Well, I am happy to hear that. All right. And hopefully I explained clearly what nagging means. Exactly. Go study. Why haven't you studied? You should be studying. Put down your phone and start studying. Just over and over again. That would be nagging. All right. I'm sick and tired of my mom's nagging. All right. Ivory Coast is watching. Woohoo. I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you. All right. Let's keep going, everyone. Wood Harris. Okay, so notice her last name is pronounced Harris. Kamala Harris. That's how you say her name. Kamala Harris. Wood Harris's. So you need to add that extra syllable, Harris's, to show this possessive. Harris's price gouging plan, because the price gouging plan, so the plan belongs to Kamala Harris. Price gouging is the topic of the plan. Okay. Would Harris's price gouging plan really help US consumers? So what don't you know, or what do you want me to teach you? What don't you recognize with this headline? I have one word that I know I want to teach you. Oh, and someone just shared, Kalini Yard shared, Kamala means lotus flower. Wow, interesting. Lotus flower. Thank you for sharing that. I had no idea. Okay, gouging. Well, let's talk about that. First of all, notice the pronunciation. Gow, ow, 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 gouging, gouging. So Jordan also wanted to know about gouging, and Anila and Viet. All right, gow, ow, gouging, gouging. Okay, Wood Harris's price gouging plan. Okay, so price gouging. This is the concept of when businesses or sellers, anyone who sells a product and determines the price of that product, raises that price, but not just a little bit, raises the price excessively. So excessively means the price goes from $1 to $10, or from $10 to $100. So there's an excessive increase. So raising prices excessively on goods or services, but often these goods or services are necessities. And you as the consumer, myself as a consumer, we are required to pay, even though the price is so much higher than it should be. We are required to pay because it's a necessity. We need to pay it. So for me personally, honestly, I feel gouged. So notice here, gouged is the adjective, and I'm describing my feeling. I feel gouged. I feel gouged every time I buy food at an airport. And this is a true example. I don't know if this is exactly price gouging, because technically it's illegal for companies to do this in the United States, at least. So I guess technically this isn't, but I, as a consumer, feel gouged every time I buy food at an airport. Now, so you can use this as a verb sentence. So this is functioning as the adjective, and then your verb is feel. So in the past, I would say I felt gouged when I was at the airport last week, for example. Okay. Now, remember, I said that technically this is illegal activity in the United States. I'm not sure about other parts of the world, but a store could be accused. The store was accused of price gouging. So this is a something, it's of excessively increasing the price when it charged $10 for water after the hurricane. So this is what I mean about a necessity. People need water, especially after natural disasters. But let's say this bottle of water was $1 before the hurricane, but then was $10 after the hurricane. That could be an example of price gouging. All right. And absolutely, Dieudonné, the airport is not a good place to buy food, for sure. And I feel gouged when the salesman intimidates me into buying this advertising utensil. Yeah, this advertised, you want the ED form on advertised utensil. But you would only feel gouged when you found out the price of that utensil. So you might say, I feel gouged when the salesman intimidates me into buying this advertised utensil for $10 instead of $1 or something like that. All right. Excellent example. And And Bishal said during the natural disaster, some stores were accused of price gouging, exactly, by significantly raising the prices of essential supplies like water and batteries. Exactly. Excellent example. I'm glad I'm not the only one. All right. Greetings right back at you all the way to Italy. Anna said, price gouging on the housing needs to be made illegal. Exactly. Excellent example. And maybe that is something that is discussed right now during the election time. All right. And Bardia said, I feel gouged whenever I head up to big malls and buy brands. Yes, exactly. Very nice. Yeah. Great example. Okay. Sidar said, I felt gouged. Excellent job putting felt in the past simple. I felt gouged. Hopefully, everyone is practicing this pronunciation. Ouged. I felt gouged when I had to pay $100 for having my hair cut. Exactly. Well, that's generally what women pay in the United States or in North America, at least. But for sure, it's a lot of money. Okay, let's move on. Vance urges voters in Wisconsin to turn out on Tuesday. That's today, Tuesday, election day. Tomorrow is our last chance. So politicians always speak with such conviction, so much enthusiasm in their voices. Okay. Now, what words don't you understand from here? What words would you like me to teach you? Urge, Anissa asked. All right. Well, good thing that's my first word. Okay. So Vance urges. So to urge. This is a verb, to urge. Here it's conjugated with the subject because Vance is this person's last name, I think, because generally they refer to people as their last name. I say I think because Vance is also a somewhat common name of a man in North America, but it isn't common to refer to people by their first name in news headlines. So I'm going to assume this is a last name. But either way, it's he. He urges. So this is in the present simple. That's why the S is there. But the verb is to urge someone to do something. When you urge someone, notice this pronunciation, urge. So it's just a sound. Urge. Okay, you strongly encourage someone to do something. So my boss urged me to start sharing my ideas in meetings. And notice this sentence structure. Someone, my boss, urges, and then you conjugate the verb urge. Here is conjugated in the past simple. So repeat after me, urged, with a very soft D, urged. My boss urged me to start sharing my ideas in meetings. So you urge someone to do, so you want your infinitive. Now, this means your boss would say, you have really good ideas. You should start sharing them. It would really help your career if you were more active in meetings. People need to hear your ideas. They need to know that you're a team player. So you should really start sharing your ideas. So what I just did is an example of strongly encouraging someone. But it isn't the same as saying you must share your ideas because that is not encouraging. That's requiring. So it isn't a requirement. It's a suggestion, but it's a strong suggestion. Okay. So even though it's coming from the boss, it's not a requirement. It's a suggestion, a strong suggestion. Now, because we're talking about the election, I have a government example. We need to urge the government to tackle price gouging. To tackle is another word for to address, to do something about, to solve price gouging. We won't take it anymore. We've had enough. So the we could be a community organization. It could be a group of citizens. It could just be one group of people. It could be anybody. We need to urge the government. So remember, someone urges someone else, in this case, the government, to do something, to tackle, to address, to try to solve price gouging. Okay. So maybe you want to urge me to do something. Maybe you want to urge me to do something different with my lessons or to create a specific lesson. So why don't you try that? Jennifer, I urge you, because someone urges someone, I urge you to what? To teach us, to make a lesson on, to help us with. What could it be? Share an example in the comments. And that's true. Anissa, you're right. I urge you as my students to practice daily. So remember, how do I urge you? I would say something like, it's so important to practice daily. You should practice daily. I highly encourage you to practice daily. By doing all of that, I'm urging you to practice daily. Okay. Excellent job, everyone. So leave your examples in the comments. And Rianne said, we need to urge you to keep creating these amazing videos here on YouTube. Exactly. All right. Let's keep going. What about this one? So Vance, this man, strongly encourages voters in the state of Wisconsin to turn out on Tuesday. Tomorrow is our last chance to turn out. Okay, so this is a phrasal verb. The main verb is turn, and then the preposition is out, to turn out. Now, you turn out to an event, for example, means you attend, but you participate in an event. So if he's urging voters in Wisconsin to turn out on Tuesday, he's urging them to vote. In this context, it's another way of urging them to vote. Because how do you participate in an election? You vote. You cast your ballot, which means to vote. Okay? So everyone should turn out on Tuesday. Now, notice my example sentence. Voter turnout is down 10%. This isn't factual. I just made this as an example, but notice how I'm using it as one word. Voter turnout. Turnout, one word, is a noun. And it represents the people who turned out to an event, the people who participated in an event. So in this example, voter turnout means the number of people who voted, who participated in the election. Voter turnout is down 10%. Less people are turning out to vote. Okay? But don't confuse this with to turn up. To turn up is more commonly used because it simply means to arrive or appear at a place. I could turn up at the polls. The polls represents the location where you vote, the location where you cast a ballot. I could turn up at the polls, but technically not vote. I could just turn up and sit there and wave to people, or maybe I'm dropping off someone else. So I could just arrive or appear at a place, but not participate. So to turn out is more specific. You arrive or appear and participate, whereas turn up just means arrive or appear at a place. For example, she turned up 15 minutes late. You could use this for someone coming to your house just to socialize, someone going to a meeting, someone going to a job interview, someone going to a party, for example. She turned up 15 minutes late. She appeared, she arrived at the whatever the location is 15 minutes late. So remember, turn is your verb. So here is conjugated in the past simple. Okay. Despite the rain, many people turned up to the concert because they're just arriving or appearing at the concert. They're not really to participate in would mean they have an active role in the concert. But if you're just showing up, if you're just listening or watching, you would use turn up. So they are quite specific in their usage, and turn up is the way more general usage of the word. Turn out is more specifically used, and it's commonly used a noun to talk about how many people participate. Okay. Yeah, you could say, Rianne, you could say turn up or show up. She showed up 15 minutes late. Despite the rain, many people showed up to the concert. You could use show up. And there's no difference in meaning. All right. Excellent job, everyone. Now, how about this one? Harris or Trump? How UK is preparing for new US president. Because of course, the election results don't just affect the United States, they affect many different countries. So here we have the UK. Now, I'm not going to teach you anything here for vocabulary because it's pretty simple, but here's a little quiz. From this headline, there are 2 articles missing. Now, in headlines, this is the headline, the news headline. It is acceptable to omit, to exclude, to not include articles. But if you're writing a full sentence in the body, in the actual article, you must use articles grammatically. So there are 2 articles missing grammatically. So I want you to rewrite the sentence. So the sentence is how UK is preparing for new US president. So you can leave out the Harris or Trump. You can leave that part out. So I want you to rewrite this and identify the 2 missing articles. So remember, an article is a, an, or the. A, an, or the. Okay? So those are your 3 choices, and there are 2 additions that need to be made. And I already see the correct answer in the comments, which is excellent. Okay. Oops. Hidaki has the correct answer. Artur has one of the correct answers. This could work. Yeah, this could work. So you have one correct answer, and the second one, it could work. We'll discuss that. It could work. Anissa has the correct answer. Satyajit has the correct answer. Stefania has the correct answer. Awesome. All right. We have a lot of correct answers here. Woohoo. Excellent job, everyone. Okay, so let's talk about this. It seems like you already know, so that's awesome. So if you're ever confused about the headlines, just know it is acceptable and common practice to omit, which means exclude, not include, articles and auxiliary verbs as well, and other small words that are only there grammatically. Okay, so It should be how the UK is preparing for the new US president. So proper nouns like countries, states, or cities, they don't take articles. But keep in mind that there are exceptions to this rule. There are exceptions to every rule in the English language, I would say. The UK and the US are the two most common exceptions. There are other exceptions, but these are the two most common. The UK, the US, the US, okay? So you need to say how the UK is preparing for the new US president. But just know that in the second example, the reason why we're using the is not because of the word US. It's because it's the new president. So US in this case is an adjective that describes the new president. So even if you don't use the word US, you still need an article. You can't say how the UK is preparing for new president. Preparing for new president, that's incorrect. So preparing for the new president, because president is a unique position. It's a specific position. So we use the article the. Now, another student previously said a new president, and technically you can use the article a for president. You can. In this case, the is used because it's a specific and unique one. But in more of a general context, you can use the article a as well. Okay, so the second the is actually connected to new president, and well, new and US are just adjectives that describe the president, the president. All right. Excellent job, everyone. I'm so glad a lot of you knew that. Great job. Now, the whole world needs to buckle up. Canada bracing for potential Trump tariffs. So again, like I said with the UK, other countries, my home country, Canada, well, we're neighbors to the US. They're our largest trade ally. So their policies, US policies, have a huge impact in Canada. So this woman who is a representative in Canada, you can see the Canadian flag in the background. The whole world needs to buckle up. Canada bracing for potential Trump tariffs. Here's an example where an auxiliary verb is omitted because Canada is bracing, because brace is a verb. It's in the present continuous, but notice here they just said Canada bracing because it's a headline. So it's acceptable to omit the auxiliary verb. But grammatically, it's Canada is bracing for potential Trump tariffs. Okay? So anything that you don't understand here, well, you're already helping me out. You're being the teacher right now. Buckle up. Buckle up. Okay, so that's what we'll talk about first. The whole world needs to buckle up. So if you are in a car or on a train, on a plane, or some other form of transportation, the first thing you should probably do after you sit down is buckle up. Buckle up. So this is what will casually be said. Your parents will tell you when you were a young child. When you first get in the car, they'll say, okay, buckle up. Buckle up. But the flight attendant will say something a little more formal, like fasten your seatbelt. To fasten one's seatbelt means to buckle up. It's the same meaning, but buckle up is the everyday usage, and fasten your seatbelt is the more formal because it's the more technical usage. So to fasten or to secure, it's the same thing. And buckle up is the phrasal verb. So buckle is your verb and then up is your preposition. In this case, it's used figuratively. This Canadian representative is not telling you to fasten your seatbelt in a vehicle. The representative is telling you to get ready or prepare. But why do you buckle up? To prevent something negative from happening to you. So if you buckle up in this figurative context, the whole world needs to buckle up. It means to get ready or prepare for something potentially negative. So your coworker could say to you, buckle up. The CEO is making an important announcement today. So this important announcement could have something negative happen. It could potentially be negative. So your coworker is telling you to prepare, buckle up. Buckle up. So it's a fun expression that you can use. But also, if you're in a car, buckle up. And thank you so much, Ronnie, for showing your support. I really do appreciate that. That's so kind of you to take this moment and contribute to the success of the channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you so, so much. All right. So everyone, maybe I could say to you, buckle up. The exam is going to be difficult. So to tell you to prepare, oh, buckle up. This class is going to be difficult, for example. And yes, you can use it on a plane. Yep. Okay. And Dave, oh, I'm like trying to pronounce your name, Undead Soul. Okay, we need to buckle up for the change made by AI. Yeah, exactly. Very nicely done. Yeah, we need to buckle up. AI is coming. Buckle up. Yeah, hurricane in the Pacific. Buckle up. Exactly. Very nicely done. Buckle up. We're going through tough days. Exactly. I appreciate that, Laura, to support my channel. That is so sweet of you. Thank you so much. All right. So buckle up. This lesson's going to be difficult. All right. And exactly. The flight is going to take off. So everyone buckle up. Fasten your seatbelt. Secure your seatbelt. Exactly. Bundle. Yeah, it's close. Okay, so I'll say both of them. Buckle, buckle, bundle. Buckle, bundle. Buckle, bundle. They are very similar. I agree with you. Very, very similar. Fasten your seatbelt. The crisis is coming. Yeah, so, you could say, instead of saying buckle up, this class is going to be difficult, you could technically say fasten your seatbelt, the crisis is coming. You can. I think buckle up is more commonly used, but Manuel, you can say that. You can. Okay. All right. Excellent job, everyone. That was a fun one. And well, we already talked about the fact that there is the auxiliary verb missing. Canada is bracing for. So to brace for, again, this has the same meaning as buckle up in a sense, but it's used less figuratively and more in the sentence. You prepare for something potentially negative. For example, our department is bracing for budget cuts. So buckle up is used way more figuratively, more to give a warning to someone. Buckle up, budget cuts are coming. But in a more formal announcement, they wouldn't use the buckle up because it's more figurative. It's more of an expression. They would use brace for in the body of an announcement. For example, our department is bracing for, preparing for budget cuts. But you can prepare for something that doesn't have a negative consequence. But for brace for, you only brace for something potentially negative. We're bracing for a hurricane. Black Friday is tomorrow. We need to brace for the crowds. Now, more figuratively, the person could say, buckle up. The crowds are coming if it's Black Friday, for example. I like this one. Zachariah said, buckle up. Things are about to get interesting. Exactly. Yeah. Brace for impact. Exactly. Prepare for impact. So on a plane, if there is an emergency, the flight attendants might tell you to brace for impact. Generally, you would put your head between your knees, like to protect your head. That's how you would brace for impact. So impact is when the plane would hit something. Brace for impact. Exactly. Very nicely done. Thank you for sharing that, Fabio. Okay. Wow, everyone. We have to brace for the upcoming layoffs. Exactly. So prepare for, buckle up, layoffs are coming. So just remember, buckle up is used more figuratively, and then brace for is the more formal expression that you would use to express a concern. Okay. Excellent job, everyone. Well, this is the end of our class. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, for learning all of these new phrases. I love practicing with everyone and seeing your amazing comments. So thank you so much for spending this time with me. Of course, please like this video, subscribe. Now, remember, for everyone watching right now, just know tomorrow I will be posting a very special Learn English with the News on the new US president. Will it be Donald Trump? Will it be Kamala Harris? I don't know. So we'll find out together tomorrow, and we will keep learning vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation. So please subscribe and make sure you check my channel tomorrow for the new lesson, and put yes if you like this lesson and you want me to keep making lessons just like this. Thank you again, everyone, for spending this time with me. I had so much fun in this lesson, and I will see all of you very soon. Bye, everyone. Have an amazing day.